Gaff, a big game to come on Friday, but let's first reflect on Derby, if we may. You said post-match lots of positives to take despite the frustration at the end of the game, and still of that opinion, I imagine.
Yeah, to leave there with the point in the way that we did is obviously going to be frustrating. It was the last kick of the game. Should have been blown up for offside, then should have been blown up for dangerous play, high foot. But overall, I thought we performed really well. The way I want my team to play is press, try and win the ball high. We've done that on a lot of occasions, and created a lot of chances and passed the ball really well at times. So it was more like how I want my team to play.
We saw the new lads get stuck into life at Blues during that game. How have they settled in here at the training ground in the week amongst the lads?
Yeah, really well. The lads we have here, they're a good group anyway. Very welcoming. So yeah, they've settled in well.
Yeah, Lyle and Janino coming in has certainly given us more depth, and in fact against Derby the bench looked as strong as it has done for a long time now. Just how important is that to be able to bring a player like Sunjic on in the second half and have those experienced pros to call upon?
Yeah, it's important because you're only as good as what your bench is, really. Earlier on in the season, when most of them were fit, then we could go and compete, and when we made a sub, we weren't weakening the team, and that's important. Some play more than others, that's the nature of the game, but to have good players on the bench is always going to help and be positive.
And of course, no disrespect at all to the young lads who've come in and done such a great job, but in turn that allows the likes of JJ to get a rest. It allows the likes of Joe Bellingham, Tate Campbell to go and get some 23s football to make sure they're still up to scratch as well.
Yeah, because you've got to think it's development. That's what it is. And Joe can go back to school now and concentrate on his exams a little bit more. But he trained with us today. Like, nothing's going to change there. When he can, he'd train with us. He's improving, but he needs to play 23s as well instead of just sitting on our bench, missing out on valuable minutes in the 23s. So yeah, young JJ, he had to go back to back games, and so yeah, it's been tough for them young lads, but they've done well, Yeah, they haven't done no harm, and we've picked up a few points here and there with them lads starting and coming off the bench. So we've done well.
Hernandez, very much a new player still, but settling in quite quickly. Man of the match on Sunday. His influence on games appears to be growing week by week, doesn't it?
Yeah, his quality. You've got to try and get him on the ball in the right areas, and if we can do that, then he's going to be a threat. Again, another player just catching up on minutes. He's obviously not played too many at Middlesbrough before he came here, so he obviously, once he gets fitter, he'll be even better. Lyle and Janino, they both hit a brick wall, and it's the reason why they had to come off the weekend. Like, they're low on minutes, and so yeah, once we get them three up to speed, then we'll become stronger.
Yeah. Manchester United have updated somewhat supporters on the progress of Chung over the last couple of days. When are you expecting him to be back with us, and what's your plan with him going forward, given the injury setback he's had?
Obviously, from like what you've said there, he's been man who have been doing his rehab. He's been outside with them, so he comes back to us on Monday, and then he's allowed to train with us for 2 weeks, and then reevaluate things then. So then it'll be a case of minutes in games and how we go about that, because we can't just throw him back in the deep end and say, go on, Chung, go and swim. We can't do that. He's been out for a long time. So, but the most important thing, the positive thing, is that he's going to be back with us on Monday.
It gives us a good option when he's up to scratch, as will the re-additions of Troy Deeney and Taylor Richards when they're fit again. We'll have some offensive options when everyone's back in and around it, won't we? Yeah,
and the good thing is you'll be able to rotate a little bit. Like we've had to go game after game after game with the same lads, and they're running through brick walls for us. But at least once everybody's back, then we'll be able to rotate a little bit and give some of them a rest that they'll need.
Yeah, those are the longer term absentees. Anything this week kicking around in terms of injuries to note or not?
No, Taylor Richards, he's been jogging outside. Today's the first time I've seen him jogging outside. He's obviously just got back from COVID, so yeah, he's the only one. And any of the positive ones coming back. Young Marcel's been training with us here and there as well. So
let's get to the game on Friday. And Sheffield United, the opposition, aside with several games in hand, looking ahead to hopefully getting towards the playoffs. As we say every week, a tough game against a good side.
Yeah, another team that's just come down from the Premier League, so they've managed to keep hold of the majority of their players. They're a good side. I went and watched them against Peterborough the other day on Saturday, and it was very good. But we know that, and when we went there, first game of the season, they're a good side. But we know on our day that we can compete. So we'll have to be at our best. We might need a little bit of luck along the way here and there, but we've got to be ruthless when we get chances, and then that'll always give us a chance of winning.
Yeah. And just finally, a word on games like this. They're set up to be quite the occasion, live on Sky Friday night under the lights. As a player, as a manager, you've done that sort of thing several times, but they can be special, can't they?
Yeah, and especially at home, being in front of our own crowd and then getting behind us, and it should be a good night, and hopefully the atmosphere is electric.
Yeah. Cheers, Gaffer.
Cheers.